Hello, it's Euro Cine Expo 2023, day 2 at Motor World in Munich. I'm with Robin from Tiffen on the Tiffen stand. Thanks for talking to us. How was yesterday?
Yesterday was good. Yeah,
You seem busy every time we walk
quite
past.
warm.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, yeah. I think the show's been reasonably busy.
yeah. Good. And so we spoke about a year ago. I think it was here last year. So what have Tiffen been up to in that 12 months?
Well, we've got quite a lot that's happened with some launches that happened at BSC show earlier in the year, and then at Steadycam. So first off, on the Tiffen filter side, we've got 2 new types of filter called black fog and night fog, which are contrast reduction and atmospheric filters.
Right.
So they'll give you a little bit of halation, a little bit of atmosphere, almost like a smoky room, but not quite.
Right. Yeah.
And we launched those at BSC, and they've been really popular.
Oh right. Yeah.
So we've got those, and then also we've got Tiffen rear mount filters for the ARRI Signature Prime lens.
Right. Yeah.
So the Signature Prime is quite clever. It's got a little magnetic ring in the back of the lens.
Yep.
And by using that, we've developed a range of Tiffen filters, which are all our own usual ones, so glimmer glasses and black pro mist, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they can be clipped on the back of the lens.
Right.
And that means that if you have a range of lenses of all focal lengths, you use the same grade of filter on the back of each of the lenses.
Yes.
So you would normally set up the whole set of lenses ready for the shoot before you go with the same filter.
Yeah.
That's
That is. Yeah. That's going to be.
it's quite
like
big.
that.
It's
Yeah.
quite big.
Yeah.
We've done the development work with ARRI, so they're
Oh, right, yeah.
very happy over it. And
How long has that taken to develop that? Because it's
well, as usual,
a lot of
longer than we hoped. It's taken a while because they have to be very thin glass.
right. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to a lot of good things with that.
Yeah. It's a new, quicker, easier way of doing something, isn't it? So
It's a way in which you can have a matched set of lenses and put a look on the entire set,
yeah.
rather than having individual filters in the front where you'd need to change the grade of the filter depending on the focal length.
Brilliant. I bet people are quite interested in that, aren't they?
People are.
Yeah.
People are very interested. And also we've just launched a blue streak filter.
Right.
We've had streaks for years, but we've been asked for blue streaks for quite a while, so we've responded to customer demand.
Excellent. Yeah. And I guess customer demand is king, isn't it? Really.
Filters are fashion.
Yes. Fantastic.
So there you can see we're getting the blue halation highlights. So any bright spot will pick up and create that almost artificial anamorphic type effect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. So we come over to some of these new Steadicam products. So what are we looking at here?
Okay, well, this is all to do with the Steadicam Volt, which we've had for the bigger rigs for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
But now what we've done is applied the technology to the Steadicam Zephyr and Aero, so the smaller rigs. And therefore we've completely dedicated the whole gimbal assembly to work with that smaller rig, and then the brain is up in here to tell it where to be level. So the Steadicam Volt essentially holds you level for you.
Yeah.
And on the bigger rigs, the Steadicam Volt will hold level and also hold tilt. So on this version, we've added pan axis as well.
Right.
So now we have all 3 axes controlled. So it's going to be very, for example, if you're in a windy situation, it'll stop the Steadicam being buffeted around.
Yeah.
It'll hold a better frame for longer periods, with a long lens or something where you might get some wander.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And in here is where all the drives and the clever parts are. I have to say, this is a prototype, by the way.
It's pretty compact
So,
anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we hope it's going to be a bit more compact still. But,
Excellent. Yeah.
essentially, it's a prototype that was launched at Cine for
Right.
approving ground, and you see the buttons on the side, or the knobs on the side, I should say. These allow you to control the pan, tilt, and damping. So they'll give you the gain effectively, so how strong each of those functions will react. We're going to get Danny, who's just getting the vest on, to come and give you a quick working demo.
Show us how it actually works, yeah.
So the arm and vest are the same as the existing Zephyr.
Right, yeah.
So it's only the sled that's changed.
So that's the new, yeah.
So at the moment, we volt off. Now we go volt on. So Danny, perhaps you can show us what the volt will do for you.
So it's self-stabilised.
Yep.
We can make it go off level if we feel like it.
Right, yeah.
We have the regular tilt hold. So the volt will hold the tilt.
Yep.
If we bring it back to a level, and then maybe this is in a mode called sticky, so wherever I leave it, it will stay.
Yes, yeah.
So we can hold a frame.
Fantastic, yeah.
Such as this. The new pan control setting is what we've introduced on the 3-axis.
Yeah.
Volt means that whereas before it was used as the rotation of the bearing, just relying on minimal friction, we can actually control that. So the push back and forward doesn't dissipate all of the forces.
Yeah.
Sideways.
Almost like a homing function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that we can now move around with the rig without it actually changing.
Yeah, fantastic.
The
Yeah.
framing can be more accurate
Yeah.
by changing height.
Brilliant. Yeah.
These buttons on the back will be the access buttons for the functions.
Okay,
but
yeah.
they haven't been
Yeah.
in the prototype. They're not active yet.
Yeah.
So we'll have this one will be changing the tilt function. Much of these have the same with the existing volt feature, and then we'll probably have the pan lock as well, so we can engage or disengage the pan depending on what we're doing. That's important from a Steadicam operator's point of view, because they don't want to have control all of the time. They want to do it for the specific shot that they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's on and off, but we keep it simple, so there's little to think about with everything else.
Well, that ease of use is so important, isn't it? And speed of being able to do it. That's fantastic. I bet you've got some quite interested visitors.
There's a lot of interest.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a lot of interest. We put a lot on this on social media after Cine Gear, and we were quite surprised by the
How many hits we
how many
We
hits
never
we
knew
were
there
getting.
were so many people interested in Steadicam.
I bet, yeah. So, like you say, it's a prototype at the moment. Have you got a sort of launch date in mind?
The end of the year sometime.
Yeah.
The end of the year.
We're not the Buffins.
I won't hold you to that. Don't worry.
It's still in a 3D printed sort of casing at the moment. Obviously, after this show here at Euro Cine, that we're going to be sending it back to the factory so they can go finish it. So that will do what they need to do to make it look pretty and work well, and hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah, but it's it's compact and neat already, so it's, the final form should be pretty.
We're somewhere close to this.
Yeah, fantastic. So we moved over to this. What are we looking at here?
Okay, so here we are with a bigger rig, and the arm that has been used for a long time with these rigs is the G70 arm, and what we've done is we've made an all-new version of the G70.
Right.
So not only is it different, everything about it is different from the original arm apart from the springs.
Right.
It's very smooth, it has several unique features. One of the first of which, let's start at this end, is a bull race bearing end post. So it's very free moving.
Yes, yeah.
Now, this is an operator preference. A lot of operators like it very free. Some operators like to have it less free, in which case there's a little brake on there so that you can put a bit of friction on it.
Brilliant.
Tighten this down and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Okay, so from there we've got all new trunnions and bearings to make it much more rigid, and we'll move down to the controls where we have these new lift adjusters, and the lift adjusters are double geared, so they're easier to turn, because previously if you don't get exactly the sweet spot, it can be quite stiff to turn. Now it's very, very easy, but also the benefit of that is it's moved the two controls, the ride and the lift control, further apart, so you can get your hand in. Moving on down to this end, we have this brand new socket block and connector, which is now completely tools-free. Traditionally, you'd have to use one of those for it, but on this version, you just do it with your fingers. And it's got a stopper here, which is reversible, so you can change the angle of this spring when you need to. Yeah.
So it's a complete redesign with ergonomics in mind, isn't it?
It's all the things about the G70 that people love, but then we've added more.
Yeah, yeah.
Assemble differently.
And again, I guess people are pretty excited about this as well, right?
We've had a lot of interest into the new arm. We've even had take my money. When can I have one? Which is exciting, for something that technically doesn't exist yet. We're still in the prototype. This is the only one in the world. But it's much closer to finish. So there may be some aesthetic changes, but ultimately this is kind of where we're going for. And again, available sometime at the end of the year.
Right. Yeah. So join the waiting list.
Yep, absolutely.
Put your order in.
Yeah. Fantastic. No, that straight away you can see all of those. Yeah, those little tweaks that you've been able to do by rebuilding from the ground up, haven't you?
It is from the ground up, so it's new extrusion.
Literally just the springs.
I missed one vital point.
Right.
It's lighter than the old one.
By how much?
Nearly half a kilo.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
So that's quite a big reduction.
Yeah.
It's also lower profile here, which I like.
You're making some Steadicam operators quite happy, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Fantastic.
That's our mission in life.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty impressive set of developments there. That's what is exciting. Listening to customer demands and satisfying them.
What we try and do.
Yeah. Well, thanks for spending time to talk to us, and thank you for demonstrating everything. Cheers.